Look drained and dead. I'm gonna say something right now. I can hear an echo every time I speak, so I know something weird is going on, but like I say, I go into denial. I refuse to believe it. Get some energy work done. I gotta, little Rose Spirit's been doing nothing but helping, but I gotta do something to put this back. Hopefully I don't get fucked up by making this. From what I'm understanding, and I'm a sound, from what I was shown by Santa Muerte the other night, I'm not even my physical body on earth or something. Something weird going on. I believe what I see. I'm very spiritual, but I'm also healthily skeptical. And, I see mountains, people. The other night, I saw, I remember one time when I woke up, I saw what looked like a simulation of her, where I saw like nothing but beige, brown buildings over there, and it looks a little different. I usually see brown. There's a lot of beige, and I remember there being a taller building, so something ain't right. There's a lot that hasn't been right with my reality since May the 1st. But anyways, from what I understand, I got put aboard that 3iAtlas. I thought 7,010 hertz would do something about them. I thought peppermint oil, I was kind of forced to wear that because the other night I wore frankincense and myrrh, and because of my connection to God is fucked up. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, it's God, aka Issa, I know his full name, but I ain't gonna say it, who put me in this predicament. He wanted to cover my spiritual powers, and from what I understand, he set it up with that Asa girl who from Chaffalay Bay, Destrehan, Louisiana, who stole my body, soul swapped me. In that timeline, I got a snee house, Asa snee house. From what I understand, he set it up for her to soul swap me, and I don't know why. Usually like when I knew my brother was in trouble, I had to get a shaman who was under Hecate, ironically, to take care of it. Still got the shamanic, whatchamacallit, she called it, and everything. Psychopomp session and everything. And from what I understand, it's because the demiurge, I explained in another video about Hecate, running consciousness or something, having to do something with consciousness. They want to put her under control of the demiurge as a rap. I had saying in Santa Muerte helping me the other night, it was so fucking bad. And he even got scared. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. I know before November the 18th, the Illuminati and the Spirit Plane, working with Zendaya Coleman, put some shit on my consciousness, and we're trying to fuck with my roach attachments. I heard that they were barring shit from coming in and fucking with me. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I know 1248 hertz works against the Illuminati. It's like I came up with 6,000 hertz frequency. You can, use like 6,002 hertz to get shit back. Back in the day when I lived on the PCH for nigga crackers, you got 1488 hertz. Get stuff back 1488 2 hertz. Which I've been using. It's ironic because that's a white supremacist number, but that works against crackers. From what I heard, when Madonna was coming in, Madonna Ciccione, she took a lot of shit from me and all that. when she was coming in to take my shit, I heard that having that frequency around and playing it greatly subdued her impact. It would have been a lot worse. For niggas, my yates 5300, I almost want to say 5302 hertz, which I've been using to just try to get my shit back. It's from Marco, who's in my timelines. She's connected to the soul consciousness of my body, of me, back in 2010 when I used to look all conventionally attractive, like you see in that passport. And I remember, going to Mexico and seeing a premonition of what was to come with my father looking like that, but homeless. And he was just like out of it. And I was told in that timeline, I saw the girl Memories Asa who stole my body and all of that. Yeah, when he ended up in the hospital, he looked just like that, like when he got back into his body briefly. They had some Hispanics or, psychics trying to help him out. Another thing, too, is they killed Elegua and Baron Samedi. From what I heard, he's part of my bloodline in the spirit plane and took him over the Illuminati. You don't want that. From what I understand, they were doing somewhere, they were using me to try to control, I think. And I was shown this as well and saw it through my third eye very briefly. They try to fuck with my third eye so I can't see shit, so I can't work through it. That's why, for this, frequency is key for me. Um, With that being said, they got rid of a lot of my road spirits last night. They were confusing, conflating them with them or something. And, you can use frequencies here, 3517 hertz, 35, 295 or 295 combined with 695 hertz, add as many zeros as possible. And, you know, adding 1.7 million hertz, so I can get my shit back. But I don't know what the fuck is going on. I know with them practice 1488 hertz, those are some evil motherfuckers. But anyways, they've been fucking with the people of Africa in that timeline, so they can't see what the fuck is going on with me and the Hike shit and the Zendaya Coleman and the soul swap and all that confusion shit. They in the spirit plane, they got rid of Jimmy Kimmel, turned him into a fucking roach, a giant roach. Something about Hathor, but heard supposed to be related to Kate. They turned her into a giant roach, him into a giant roach for knowing about my situation. Like China, aka Angela White, who got soul swapped, and I believe it was 2014, 2016. They got her. She was staying in homeless shelters just like me, poor girl. And, they gave the clone, they take bodies. Not from Saint, not from Zenu. He actually works with the Church of Scientology to stop that shit as much as he can. And he was one of the ancient entities that existed in Kemet, and would try to do what he can do, to bring knowledge. I guess he's one of the archons, and archons means bring knowledge, which I'm finding. They get it from your boy, the Demiurge, and from what I understand, they got rid of my connection to God, my dad, Napoleon Williams, last night. They got rid of them, just extinguished them out totally in the spirit plane. Again, you can use them frequencies, 3517 hertz to revive energy spirit bodies. I have to combine it with 1.7 million hertz because I'm supposed to be in hyperspace. When you're dealing with stars and shit, you gotta, put in a decimal point to supersede it. Very simple mathematics. You have to be in the physics, know that shit. I was using yesterday, and I actually uploaded it, 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz, which helps to revive dead bodies. I have it in my frequencies to combat the curse playlist on my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and check it out. 1 million hertz can rebuild spirit bodies, but they did some where they were conflating my roach attachments, and they did it a while back in their consciousness and all of that. With that being said, they're trying to do some shit and they're trying to suppress it, where they're trying to do some Hecate shit with Zendaya, who they, I was shown is under like CIA control or subconsciouses or some shit like that. And she would attach this Hispanic girl. My shit. I don't know how true that is. But with that being said, and I was getting a lot of help. From what I understand, they keep trying to steal my successorship to Hecate and give it to her so they can start this beast of the apocalypse, bullshit. And from what I understand, them sadistic motherfuckers, they, if you just think of something positive about, they like to fucking Mario ass with contumelies, like inundate you with contumelies and shit, and deprecate you. So that they can feed loose to, I got a pine dog, some roaches and shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it ain't my roach. I heard he got made a sacrifice. I don't know how true that is. That's supposed to be the lead reptilian. There was a woman by the name of Bryce Taylor who spoke about him. They talk about the seer cars. I found out that it's actually flying cockroaches. So I don't know how. I don't know. This is what I'm hearing. So I'm just speaking the whole truth, nothing but the truth. so I can get motherfucking help, because I got energy harvested mad fucking bad last night. Like, really fucking bad, to the point of fucking dead by them royal evil ass motherfuckers. Especially that Meghan Markle. I heard that Harry, back when I lived on the PCH, was passing by and didn't like my shirtlessness, because to him I was an ugly bitch. Bitch, you Illuminati. I don't like you. I don't like your fucking kind. I would have knocked your fucking ass out if I would have seen you on the fucking PCH. I don't want your kind there. And that's how I feel about it. I don't like them people. I don't like them people at all. I see what they are. The Rothschilds were originally fucking pig farmers, and they got into farming humans for their loosh. You know, just the other day, as a matter of fact, Queen Elizabeth, I actually helped, you know, an African bloodline who were being invaded by Queen Elizabeth, who, just like she did with my higher to higher selves and all of that last night, started taking over and removing their ancestors and removing the girls and all of that and replacing them with members of the royal family, because they want to covet black power so much. You know, I wanted to mention that they were doing something in the spirit plane with the consciousnesses of Africans as well as Mexicans and South Americans. You know, y'all got it good because y'all can get under Quetzalcoatl, who they can't really fuck with. I don't know about Allah, but I know they can't fuck with Quetzalcoatl. That's y'all separate demiurge. You know, a demiurge will simultaneously have the head of a dragon in the body of a man. And y'all is Quetzalcoatl. Ours is, I know it is his real name, but he goes by Yoda Bear. And he's supposed to, you know, be black, really white. And I heard a praying mantis with the body of a black man. And, you know, they talk about Harold Wolsk and the bronze. They fashioned him after Aludamare, who was the original, you know, real demiurge. And he didn't have a dragon counterpart. He was a black man. Some about it being established by ancient chemists. That's why I say go to them, you know, for help and woo-woo. But, it's Roshan, I don't know how true that shit is. I don't know what's going on, but, you know, they're the ones who set up the God industrial complex on Earth. That's why I don't, you know, I'm going to say this right now. I fuck with saying learning about these spiritual truths, because the tricky shit that go on with God, the demiurge and all of that, wanting to set me up as a sacrifice so he could cover my heat cave, you know, and I'm just, that's some of the sickest fucking shit. I'm just trying to, that's why I went to them people for a tarot reading 105 or 4706 Broadway Street. Saying Archangel Miguel, you know, because Botanica, because I'm trying to find out from a third party source the truth. With that being said, from what I understand, their game plan, what they like to do is, I heard Meghan Markle, ever since I left that timeline, she started getting into the bloodletting, and she got 2 kids. And they supposed to be used by them to get past all the evil shit that they do. So they don't have to pay the consequences, and they hide under the demiurge to do it. You know, that's why you got to go to source or something like that, you know. And my source almost got compromised, you know, the other night. With that being said, here's what I wanted to mention. You know, Baron Samedi and them part of my bloodline, and they got rid of them, and they took them over. Took over him and Elegua. So watch your black ancestral magic with them evil motherfuckers. Saw as people coming in the other night. Watch your black ancestral magic. With that said, from what I understand, it's enough to make you want to punch a motherfucker, because I didn't ask for this, you know. It's just, you know, I'm like an innocent motherfucker. All of this shit, soul swapping. I know that's true, because I remember trying to get back in my body and seeing through my third eye it happened. But just living, to deal with it, living in denial. It's the only way I can deal with it. That's something I got to do today. But with that being said, from what I understand, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Um, they were removing my child consciousness and all of that, my child soul consciousness, and that shit hurts. But anyways, they did something where they put me on board 3iAtlas so that they can covet my consciousness and use it to, fuck with people, bring about that beast of the apocalypse shit with fucking Zendaya Coleman or something in that goddamn timeline, and really evil shit. And I've been getting fucking energy harvested with my whole consciousness, telling her, I remember I was being told by my little child spirit guide, she was saying and urging me, go outside, play your little frequency, you good. At first, I'm not really sure. I think 7,010 hertz works against them. I was wearing peppermint oil, but due to having some protection, I was able to retain my spirit team. My spirit team nearly got eviscerated. I noticed some little motherfuckers would huddle together, them 3iAtlas roach aliens, and talk about, woo woo woo. Where that, peppermint, yeah, we ain't coming down. She with the peppermint oil, and even if I don't have anything in it, they start fucking with me. Or if I throw away my trash with peppermint oil, they start coming down and all that shit. So another thing I brought was rose water, and it works against them slightly. From what I understand with the peppermint oil, the way it works is, if they have my soul consciousness as well as my little roach spirits, it starts to set them up on fire and fucks with it. So they'll just, replace it with theirs or some shit like that. With the rose water, it fucks them up. I think their etheric walls and tranquilly, but that 7,010 hertz does somewhere. It fucks with their consciousness and ability to feed or something. And it fucks with them alone. It don't fuck with my road spirits as much as it fucks with them, because they spirits. Them motherfuckers are corporal. They fifth dimensional beings. But they also, I was told they fucking with a woman. They are, they're also simultaneously third dimensional. They're multi-dimensional beings. I remember reading about that back in the day. But anyways, me and my little spirit team, I had my poor daddy, what was left of him, try to come up and help. My child soul consciousness the fuck out. Because he was part, roach, from what I understand. The Atlas people are composed of my parents, of my ancestors stuck in roach hell realms, and my dad was one of them. And I saw it during this curse. And with that being said, you can use 125 hertz to free people from hell realms and all of that. So with that being said, they stuck me on board here, and I was told by a lot of people when they come up, they're like, there ain't nothing we can do for you. You on board the spaceship. And I feel like that's bullshit. If that girl could escape the roach realm, I can easily fucking get up off this ship. I'm told that the way in which they see me, you stuck on board a ship. I still have my consciousness, so I just don't see it. You can't do shit. There's nothing you can do. You can't fight back. You can't do this. And a couple of days ago, Santa Muerte was actually showing me where I'm at and tried to free me. She was the only one keeping tabs. And then the real one, I heard that. I think that's the manipulated one by them people with Catherine's flowers. that came along and was acting all evil and vile and was like, we're going to disconnect you from Santa Muerte's network. But I know she under Sane. Sane is the one who made it, and he's also the one that keeps order on Earth, or should. He was trying to do, nothing but, try to help me that night. And that really hurts. And I was told if I was just, I would have seen difference. And I feel disconnected from my body here. I was shown by them road spirits I'm on board. One of them even tried to take over that motherfucker because they got taken out that night when I was wearing, feel like something is here that, something is missing that should be here. When they were fucking with the frankincense and myrrh. The frankincense and myrrh allows you to have a connection to God. And the royal family snuck in through them 3iAtlas aliens, through God, I don't know. Them marriage with permission from them. It's supposed to represent the moon and all that shit. Lil Wayne is supposed to be a fugitive, his bloodline, because my great ancestor was a slave to him, a female, and had sex with the demiurge, and that's why they make him materialistic. And he got 2 homunculus kids. Now, with that being said, from what I understand, they escaped and got the fuck out. And with that being said, from what I understand, they infiltrated my connection to God because they got both of my parents stuck in hell realms. From what I've seen, my parents are constantly asking for help in that timeline to get out, and I heard Mayor Angel de Rothschild, I heard David Rene Rothschild, the banker, I heard Jacob Rothschild, that's who I usually hear and see. When I was a kid, one of the timelines that connects me to them, they keep coming in. And when I try to block them, they'll put Philippine de Rothschild, who's connected to Pine Dar, in charge. When I try to block them, it's hard. But when I was a kid, I used to have an astral vision of Jay-Z meeting with me and a bunch of kids backstage to rape us. And, turns out they were raping us of our blessings. And I was trying to get it the other night by coming into my Hike power, but could barely do it. But with that being said, I had my Baphomet stolen. And, I know it ain't nobody else but them. It's them. Santa Muerte was trying to defend me from them the other night. You use 6940 Akashic Records. Hopefully they don't use Demiurge to blot it out. Saying Santa Muerte was trying to fight them. 695 Hertz. It was Lil Wayne. I saw DJ Khaled. It was straight up Illuminati. Sean Corey Card, also known as Jay-Z, big lipped ass nigger, 5300 Hertz. He was one of the first ones to have my dad in his consciousness. Fucking Mayate. It's sad because I saw in my next life they're going to force me to incarnate as a white woman who ain't that smart, who ain't spiritually inclined, and very materialistic. At first, it's going to be more than a wealthy family. But, politician. But they changed. I keep hearing something coming to my head and all of that. But it's some evil motherfuckers who got access. This motherfucker taught me in my head and shit. And I don't have any spiritual protection. None internal. It's some weird shit. But what I was going to say. Hopefully. This is that Cassandra Nunez that let all this shit in. I heard him fucking with my inner voice and shit, and I could hear him with that fucking highfalutin ass, British ass, faggoty, vajay ass accent. I ain't got nothing against it. Don't even make it better. Shit I'm dealing with. Got my mind fucking empty, my consciousness out empty, taking out shit, and I'm made to feel like helpless on the spaceship. But anyways, Cassandra, from what I understand, say my parents are going to end up a past life curse if I don't do something. I'm already seeing that I'm being placed under the fucking royal family. I saw them in my timelines, buildings and shit, bloodline timelines a while back. You know, all timelines start with Adam Weishaupt. You know, I got they call them House de Vaudeville or Mansion de Vaudeville. Cassandra Nunez's, which was located with this mall extension here. That's how lowly they thought of her. Mexicans, even though they got strong spiritual content and fuckers are more spiritual than us, but not technically.